ठीक है? Okay guys, so welcome back to my channel. I'm finally upgrading my RD350 handlebar to a proper motocross handlebar. So after a lot of research and development, there's this brand called as Motor Torque. I felt they are good enough. Now the good thing of Motor Torque is they assured me before Saturday the delivery is going to take place, and the delivery did take place on Saturday. So in terms of delivery time and schedule, they are pretty good. Amazon, you should learn from that. So anyway, I'm opening it and let's see how good the product is. Okay, I'm very excited over here. Can put this away. Very impressive on the packaging. 10 out of 10 over there. I'm assuming there won't be any scratches. Moto Torque. Very impressed by the fit and finish. It should fit my bike perfectly. So let me install it and let's continue the video then. Guys, welcome back to my channel. Now, the handlebars provided by the OEMs, the manufacturers, are decent, but if you want a little X factor with reference to looks and feel, you can always order these aftermarket handlebars, and if you order a wrong product, the entire riding experience kind of goes for a toss. So I've ordered this handlebar Moto Torque. I've installed it say around 3 weeks ago, and I wanted to have a proper comprehensive review regarding this bike. I've taken this bike on tours as well, and this is my view regarding this bike, handlebar, the Moto Torque. Now I use this bike on a daily basis as well. So what is the negatives and positives? Let me start with the negatives. I think there's only one negative, and it's a really small one. You see over here, these bolts, they are kind of rusting over here, but I don't think the rust is going to progress over here as well. So I think it's a very negligible negative, but I think they should have looked into it. Now let me tell you how it feels. So this is my third handlebar. The first one was obviously provided by Hero itself, the Xpulse handlebar. The second one, I had a RD350 handlebar because I have a habit of, I with reference to my riding geometry, I want the handlebars high and wide, and this is exactly what I've got over here. It's a nice high and wide handlebar. Now let me tell you the positives of this particular handlebar, and there is a lot. Number one, the feel of the handlebar. I think the closest thing this handlebar reminds me of is of my BMX cycle, and I think that's a massive plus point. It just makes you feel you have complete control over the bike. It just makes you feel that the bike is more nimble, and it kind of pushes you or increases your confidence, especially when it comes to off-roading. Another thing I like of the handlebar is the geometry of your seating position. Now you got to understand, I have done everything possible for the Xpulse to look and also feel like a big proper off-road dirt bike. You know, those imported bikes that you'll have to spend 4 times more to purchase from abroad. The Xpulse basically does it at 1/4 the rate. Now if you see, I've placed 3-inch handle risers over here, handlebar risers over here. Reason I've done that is because I've anyways placed the rally seat on my Impulse, so my riding position automatically increases by say around 2 inches at minimum. So anyways, I'm not sitting with the bike, I'm sitting on top of the bike. So I needed a handlebar that is big and tall and nice, and I think Moto Torque has done an amazing design. Another thing I like about this handlebar is it's not this flat handlebar, it's got a slight curve. Now, you know, you have these handlebars that I've usually seen quite a few people on my RX group ride. You know, you have, now let me show this to you. So basically, if this handlebar is like this, the handlebars on the RX group are like this, you know. So I don't like my hand touching my body. My hand needs to be away from the body, and it just needs to have complete control over the bike. The geometry of this handlebar is amazing. Now you could get a similar looking handlebar say from Kurla, or any place in your respective state, a locally made handlebar for like $350 or so. But what I've noticed is eventually it starts rusting, and I've never found the build quality of these 350 rupees handlebars really good, or say 500 rupees. Now I've spent 1500 on this one. I know I could have got a similar looking handlebar for half the rate, but the reason I've gone ahead with this particular brand is I don't want to be penny wise pound foolish. I don't know how much I've spent on this bike. I don't know to calculate, but I know it's upwards towards a lakh at least. So if you're going to spend on your bike, you better spend on a good quality handlebar. The thickness of the material is good. I mean, materials are obviously thick, but I'm just saying the supporting rod over here is as thick as the rod below, and that matters. If you do a lot of off-roading like I do, and you know, I drop the Impulse as frequently as I would drop say my BMX cycle when I was a kid, you don't want the handlebars to bend. And that is exactly what happened to my RD handlebar. Obviously the RD handlebar wasn't built for off-roading, but after frequent falls you could see the handlebar is kind of disaligned. So no, I haven't had a fall on this particular handlebar, but I'm pretty confident with reference to the fit and finish that this product has, and with reference to the strength and reference to the weight. I'm pretty sure this handlebar isn't going to like bend on a particular side if it falls. So if you have the budget of 1500 rupees, which now considering how expensive petrol is, like 116 rupees per liter, 1500 I don't think is too much to ask for your bike. I think Moto Torque is a really good option. With reference to visually, it looks good. With reference to strength, I'm pretty sure it's good. I've not tested it, but I'm pretty sure it is good. And kind of it just gives you the confidence to push the bike. I don't know, I personally am in love with this handlebar. I would definitely recommend it to people. And the good thing of Moto Torque is when they say they're going to deliver it within 3 days, they do deliver it within 3 days. They had mentioned the Saturday is the deadline, as I mentioned in the unrevealing video, and they did provide it on Saturday. There's another thing I like about this handlebar. Again, it's just my personal view. This small design that they've provided, I know they've exaggerated by saying it's an aerodynamic design. I don't know from what angle, but I'm assuming it should provide it extra strength as well. But it just looks different. It just suits the overall bike's character. If you have a Royal Enfield Himalayan, if you have a Xpulse or an Impulse, I would strongly recommend this handlebar. See, this is what I was talking about, the seat. The seat should usually be somewhere over here. I've increased the seat by 2-3 inches. So these risers kind of compensate for the seat height as well. So irrespective the risers aren't there and you're riding it in normal seat mode, this handlebar would come all the way here. And it just, I don't know, I really like the fit and finish, the feel that the handlebar gives you. You're going to be riding the bike a lot, and the feel aspect according to me matters. So this is just a small brief review from my end regarding this handlebar. It is a definite yes from my end. Go to the websites, they have various other products as well. There was a handlebar they were selling similar geometry for the V Storm as well, 2000 rupees. I just didn't find the value of adding 500 rupees for that particular one. This, by the way, this handlebar that I've taken, there are two handlebars, one for the Xpulse and one for the Royal Enfield. Visually it looked the same, and since I want the nice big bike feel, I've taken this handlebar belongs to the Royal Enfield, not the Xpulse. I'm assuming the design is the same, the feel is the same, so just wanted to add that particular point. So a massive thumbs up from my end. It's an absolute go. As I mentioned, small rusting issues, but I'm just trying to find a flaw to mention. But otherwise, I'm extremely happy with the product, and well done, Moto Torque. Let me show you a little jumping videos. Like, see, you have a bump over here. I'm comfortably standing on the bike, right? You have another bump. The good thing of these handlebars, apart from the seating aspect, the standing aspect that I'm doing right now is also, it feels natural. It feels natural when I'm standing on the bike. My hands are easily reaching the handlebar. It just feels very natural. So most of hardcore off-roading is done while standing. So I hope you like the video, and for the modifications that I've done, especially considering this HJC lights, are they worth it? Because this particular brand, I've seen them on quite a few bikes, and the mistakes that I have done while installing LEDs is something I think people should know, because every mistake you make when you modify a bike, it's like 2,000-3,000 rupees down the drain. So I'll be explaining that as well. So this is it from my end with reference to the handlebar review. Please do subscribe, and I look forward for seeing you in my next video. Thank you. Which one do you like better, the 2-stroke or the 4?